Everyone, and welcome back to Collision Kids. We're going to do the same thing as always. Get your family, bring them all in. Everyone gather around, get together, make sure everyone's in here. We're going to just do, as we did last time, something a little bit different. So, I don't like doing things the same. None of you guys like doing things the same. So we're going to change things up just a little bit once again. So we're going to start with a game. So make sure that everyone is in here before we start the game so you guys can see how alike and how different your families are. You guys have been stuck in the house together, but you guys have probably not learned everything you could about each other. You probably learned more than normal. So this week, I have Kaylee with me for the game. This is my sister, so I'm going to be doing it with my family, so you guys do it with your family. So we're going to be playing this or that. And for that, what you're going to do is, if the first thing I'm going to say, stand up if you would rather do this, or sit down if you would rather do this. So when I'm doing this stuff, just stand up if you would do this, sit down if you would do that. And we're going to be doing it with you so you guys can see what our answers would be, and so you have an example of it. So we're just going to go ahead and start with that. So the first one is stand up if you would rather play outside, or sit down if you would rather play inside, okay? So I'd rather play outside, so I'm going to stand up. And then sit down if you'd rather play inside. So Kaylee would rather play outside as well. All right. See what all your family thinks. There may be some arguments over some of these answers, so try not to get too violent with it, okay? All right, so the next one is stand up if you would rather have Pop-Tarts, or sit down if you would rather have pancakes. And I would rather have pancakes, and Kaylee would rather have Pop-Tarts. I think Kaylee just likes standing. All right, so now stand up if you would rather have chocolate, and sit down if you would rather have like sugary candy, like Sweet Tarts or lollipops or something like that. So I'd rather have chocolate. Kaylee does know how to sit down. So Kaylee would rather have candy. Okay, so the next one, stand up if you'd rather play board games, and sit down if you'd rather play video games. I much prefer board games. Kaylee does as well, so we're both going to be standing up for that one. Go ahead, figure that out. Some of you parents might not like that your kids just like video games, so you can see how this goes. All right, next one, which might be hard for some of you. I know this one is going to be hard for my little brother, so let's see if this one is hard for you guys. Stand up if you like cats. Sit down if you like dogs. And we both like dogs, but I know some people in our family are not going to agree with us. All right, so stand up if you'd rather have bacon. Sit down if you'd rather have sausage. I know I'm probably in the minority, but I prefer sausage. All right, stand up if you would rather sing. Sit down if you would rather dance. All right, and for those of you boys or whatever that are always in class, you're like, I don't like to dance. I've seen you dance. So just choose one of them, because I know you guys can do it. I've seen you do it. All right, stand up if you'd rather have a burger. Sit down if you'd rather have pizza. I just get to sit down for a little bit. All right. Stand up if you'd rather have popcorn. Sit down if you'd rather have ice cream. I just still get to sit down. Should have changed these up a little. All right, stand up if you'd rather have tater tots. Sit down if you'd rather have french fries. Still just sitting down. All right, now this one, maybe a little bit harder. So this one is you're going to stand up if you'd rather have a tail, any type of animal tail, or sit down if you'd rather have elf ears. I think I'd rather have a tail. Elf ears could be a little weird. Have kids coming up to you all the time like, can you tell Santa that I want some presents? But you couldn't do that for them. So good job with that, everyone. We're going to probably do some more stuff like that in the next few weeks. So keep coming back. Talk with your family about what you liked, what you didn't like. Hopefully none of you were in too big of fights. And hopefully you guys did okay with that. So we're going to go ahead and go to our verse, which I started with you guys before. Everyone say bye to Kaylee. She's leaving us. Okay. So we're going to go back to our verse now, which this verse I started with you guys 2 weeks ago. So I did it with you 1 week and I taught it to you. Then this past week, Miss Tess did it with you. And now this week, I'm going to do it with you guys again. So I've not done it with you guys in 2 weeks. I know I can't see you, but your family can see you. And I'm going to be able to see you when we all come back together. So make sure you're practicing this. Make sure you're doing it. Because whenever we come back to church, which hopefully It's not a super long time, but we don't know. So whenever it is, I want to be able to see you guys do this, and I want to be able to see how well you guys can do this. And send me stuff of you guys doing it, whatever you want to do. Just practice it as much and as well as you can. So we're gonna go ahead and try this again and see how you guys do.
Psalm 119:18. Here we go.
Open my eyes that I may see wondrous things, wondrous things. Open my eyes that I may see wondrous things from your love.
Open my eye.
Open my eyes that I may see wondrous things, wondrous things. Open my eyes that I may see
Show me, Lord.
wondrous things from your love.
How can a young man cleanse his way?
God's word in your heart.
You mean memorize the word?
Memorize the word.
Right now?
Yes, now let's start.
God's word is perfect, powerful, true.
It guides me in my life.
When we live by the word and do what it says,
The world will see our light. Open my eyes. Open my eyes. Open my eyes. Oh.
Psalm 119:18.
Open my eyes that I may see wondrous things, wondrous things. Open my eyes that I may see wondrous things from your love. Open my eyes that I may see wondrous things, wondrous things. Open my eyes that I may see wondrous things from your God.
Good job, guys. I'm sure that you guys are getting
That's
better
it.
at that with every week. Keep practicing it, keep doing it, so that when we
119:18.
come back together, everyone can do it really well and really loud, and so that we can show Rocky that you guys can be just as loud or louder than you were before, because we don't want to let Rocky down. So we got to make sure to keep doing this stuff loud, because Rocky's going to expect that you guys have been doing it and that you're doing it very well. So we are going to go ahead and get right back into what we've been doing for the past few weeks. So, welcome back to Good News, everyone. For those of you that it is your first time here, we're gonna do a super quick recap. So we are a news broadcasting station, and at Good News, we tell the news of what's going on, and hopefully, most of the time, it's good news. Sometimes they are a little confused on what's going on, so we just have to fill them in, make sure that they can keep going. So we are the people that are behind scenes. So all of you guys are backstage. And that means that you guys don't have to be on camera, nothing like that, which is great. So we get to see everything behind the scenes to make sure everything is running smooth. So as always, we have a main message from our sponsor. So we're going to go ahead and see what our main message from our sponsor is for today.
Good morning. You're watching Good News with your anchors Tim Hunter and Trudy Grapevine. And Rick Rexworth on sports. Will Wheelwright, traffic. Dr. Oppenheimerstein on science. Cooking in the kitchen with Dinah. Your Action News reporter JJ Barnstormer. And Fernando the Weather Puppet on weather. It's the best morning news show on this channel at this time in the Tri-Cities area. Today's show is brought to you by Honesty, because telling the truth is the right thing to do.
All right. And cut. All right, perfect. We're on commercial now. So now we can talk about our main message. So the sponsor is someone that pays for our show, as we said before, and they give us a main message and a theme that they want us to enforce for the week, which means do and promote. So the one for this week is honesty, which is honestly a really good one, because I couldn't imagine if the news didn't tell the truth. If we weren't honest on the news, the world wouldn't know what's going on. The world would just be a disaster. So the main message for this week is I will tell the truth. And as you guys know, since they're our sponsors, we want to be able to remember these. And this is what Rocky expects you guys to be very loud at. So on the count of 3, I want you guys to yell out, I will tell the truth. You're going to yell it, and you're hopefully going to yell the truth, but I will tell the truth is our message. So you're going to say, I will tell the truth on the count of 3. So ready? 1, 2, 3. I will tell the truth. Perfect. So you guys are going to keep practicing that. We'll probably do it again at the end. So be as loud as you can with it, because Rocky will be very, very disappointed if you're not. I talked to Rocky at one point this week, and he wants to make sure you guys are being just as loud as before, because Rocky's expectations are just as high as before, and we don't want to make him upset. All right, so I will tell the truth. So we have to be honest, which, I mean, you would think this would be a pretty easy one for our news broadcasters to follow, because they have to tell the truth of the news every week. So I don't think this week will be too bad. Hopefully it's just, a quick little, they tell the news, we move on, and it's just an easy day. So let's see how they do with this.
Good morning. I'm Tim Hunter, your lead anchor.
And I'm Trudy Grapevine. Here's today's top story. A new library has opened in town, so come on by and read a book. Is there something wrong, Tim?
That story was boring.
Well, what do you suggest, Tim? I'm reporting on what's happening.
Well, I'd like to try something else. This just in. The new library that opened in town today earlier is currently being swarmed by bees the size of basketballs. This is an urgent warning, so stay away from that library.
What? Where did you even get that report?
I made it up. You try it.
What? Are you saying you're just making?
Yeah, I'm the lead anchor. I can do whatever I want. My show. Lead anchor. Lead anchor.
Okay,
lead anchor.
this just in. I have just received some information about that library story, Tim.
Really?
It isn't just bees. It is also being attacked by dinosaurs. Oh, the horror.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, incredible. Well, it also seems that the mudslide is heading towards the library as well. Oh, wait, this just in. It's not a mudslide. It's actually chocolate ice cream.
Oh, and I'm getting an additional report that there are sprinkles, giant, deadly sprinkles.
Really?
Yes.
Sprinkles?
Sprinkles.
You went with sprinkles.
You went with ice cream.
Unbelievable. Oh, well, we'll have to keep them posted on this developing story, but for now, here's Rick Rexworth on sports to tell us about the recent loss by our favorite local basketball team, the Otters. Rick, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Tim. But I don't feel like reporting that the Otters lost. I really like that team, and I'd rather say they won. So that's my report. The Otters won their game 2,000 points to 0 in yesterday's match against the Bulldogs. I'd also like to report that this means the Otters are now undefeated. And I have free tickets to all their games where everyone sits in a suite and gets free popcorn and candy. And all the soda you can drink. It's going to be a great season. Here's some more scores I just made up. I mean that I'm reporting on. Yeah, that's the ticket.
Getting out of control.
Thanks,
Hey, we need to go
Rick.
to traffic.
The Otters didn't lose their game last night like we thought.
Indeed. Well, we sent out our traffic reporter, Will Wheelwright, to assess the growing traffic jam downtown. He should be there by now.
How's that traffic jam, Will?
Oh, hello, Trudy. I'm stuck here in my car in this brutal traffic jam. Wait, there's no car. Get me up here. Yes, see, I'm here in my car stuck in the traffic jam. Where's my traffic? Where's the traffic? Yes, no one's going anywhere for quite some time, Trudy. No, I need traffic. Hurry, get the traffic footage on. Finally. Yes, as you can clearly see, I'm stuck in this horrible traffic jam. But I'll keep you posted.
Man, he's
Thanks,
lying
Will.
too.
And
I
now
don't
for
believe
our weather
this.
report from
Oh,
our
they need to go
talented
to the
weather
weather.
puppet, Fernando.
Today is very cold outside. Really cold. I was hoping it would snow, but I guess it's not going to. Oh well.
Thanks, Fernando.
We need to take a quick commercial break. But when we come back, we'll have some exercise tips from fitness expert Sergeant Knight.
Pick him up! Hop, 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 hop!
How about that?
Hop, hop, hop!
Oh my word. This is ridiculous. I thought this would be an easy week for them. Like, we've been learning about the Bible, and God tells us to tell the truth. And no matter what we're doing, we should be honest like God tells us to, especially when you're telling the whole area about something. This is ridiculous. Oh, man. All right, so we're going to have to figure something out because they're obviously still not living out our main message. I mean, you would think that they would be listening to this, but they're not. Oh, man. So we're going to have to do the same thing as always, and we're going to have to try to find a Bible lesson because I thought that we were going to be able to actually see the sergeant this week, but they still aren't getting it. I don't know why they're not understanding this. So when we're doing news, we should be honest, right? So the Bible's always honest, and the Bible's always true. So if we find one of those, then we'll be okay. So, John, can you take out Sergeant and put in a Bible lesson about honesty? You think? Oh, okay. Now he has one. Even he's having a hard time being honest. All right, so let's try this. Let's see how this goes, and hopefully this gets better when I see you next time.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, due to a change in today's schedule, we're not going to have time for Sergeant Nice's fitness tips. Sorry, Sarge.
Did I tell you to stop, boy? No, move! Wacky Jacks, now! Go! 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 That's right. Sorry to pull rank, Sarge, but we're gonna have oh, you got that's a little joke I made up right up here.
Good.
But we're gonna take a look at a special report on a Bible story coming right now. Here it is.
Telling lies to get out of trouble. Being dishonest so you can get what you want. Saying something that isn't true so people will be impressed. There are many different reasons why people tell lies, but the Bible tells us that lying is wrong. But what makes dishonesty a bad thing? Why is lying wrong? Hello, and thank you for joining me. Today, I'm continuing my ongoing report about Jesus and the time that he spent in the city of Jerusalem before his death. In this report, we'll look at a situation where one of Jesus' disciples lied about knowing him, and we'll look at what happened to that disciple after. In the book of Luke, chapter 22, starting at verse 54, we learn that Jesus had just been arrested, even though he hadn't done anything wrong, and he was being taken to the home of the high priest for his trial. As this was happening, one of Jesus' disciples was following at a distance. The disciple's name was Peter, and I'm sure that he was worrying about what was going to happen to Jesus. Well, when Jesus reached the high priest's home, he was led inside, and the high priest, along with the high council, began to question him. Meanwhile, Peter went into the courtyard to wait, just to see what would happen. It was there that he joined a group of soldiers as they stood around a fire. As he did, Jesus' trial continued, and it was getting worse and worse for him. Above the courtyard, a crowd of people shouted accusations at Jesus. They mocked him and slapped him, and they even spit on him. They even said Jesus deserved to die. Well, during all of this, Peter watched from the courtyard below. And it was then that a servant woman who was also standing near the fire noticed Peter. She recognized him as one of Jesus' followers, and she said so in front of all the people around the fire, including the guards. But Peter said to her,
"Woman, I don't even know him."
Peter had just lied. Maybe he was scared that the guards would arrest him too. Or maybe he thought that if he lied, he could avoid getting into trouble. Either way, it doesn't matter. Peter lied, and lying is wrong. But it didn't end there.
The woman wasn't the only one to notice Peter. A little later, someone else looked at Peter and also accused him of being a follower of Jesus. Once again, Peter lied, saying,
No, man, I am not.
Peter's lie was starting to get bigger and bigger. First, he lied and said that he didn't know who Jesus was. Then he lied and said that he wasn't a follower of Jesus. It was getting worse and worse for him. But you guessed it, the lying still wasn't over. Later that night, a third person said that Peter must be a follower of Jesus. And once again, Peter lied a third time, saying,
Man, I don't know what you're talking about.
At that moment, Jesus turned and looked at Peter, and Peter realized what he had done. He had lied 3 times, denying that he knew Jesus and that he wasn't one of his followers. Jesus had been a great teacher and a great friend to Peter, and now Peter had lied and betrayed him. Peter felt terrible about what he had done, and he immediately started weeping, and he fled the courtyard alone. We know that lying is wrong because God tells us it's wrong. And we can learn about the problems that it causes from Peter's story. When Peter chose to lie, once wasn't enough. He was caught in a trap where he had to tell lie after lie after lie. And that's one of the bad things about lying. If we tell one lie, we'll probably have to tell another lie so we can cover up the first lie. And then probably another lie, and another lie, and another lie. We also learned from Peter's experience that lies can hurt feelings and cause a lot of pain. I'm sure that it hurt Jesus when he saw one of his disciples lie about knowing him. And we know that Peter felt awful about the lies he told because he left weeping. When someone chooses to lie, others' feelings will be hurt, and the person who lies will probably feel bad too. So if you've done something wrong and you'll get in trouble if people find out, tell the truth. If someone asks you a question, answer honestly. And if ever anyone asks you if you follow Jesus, don't do what Peter did. Tell the truth instead. Oh, and one other item about Peter that I should include in this report. Jesus forgave Peter for lying, and he will forgive us as well. We've all lied at some point in our lives, but we can choose to be different from this point on.
Well, that certainly was an interesting story, and that's given this anchor a lot to think about.
Yes, I believe we owe our viewers an apology. I mean, we were dishonest about all the stories we reported today.
We totally lied.
We're sorry.
That's right, the library is a great place to get a good book, and it is actually open for business. There are no bees or dinosaurs at the library, and there's no flood of ice cream either. I'm sorry I lied and said that there was.
And I'm sorry for lying about the scores.
I'm sorry I lied.
And I'm sorry about the snow.
And we all pledge to do a better job of telling the truth in the future.
I pledge to be truthful as well. Thank you for watching and for understanding. And please stay tuned after the credits for some late-breaking news. I'm Tim Hunter.
And I'm Trudy Grapevine. Goodbye.
Yeah, man.
What's this? Respected reporter and news anchor Tim Hunter's on the scene with some late-breaking news. We need a news van, quick!
It's time for Tim Hunter's news van race to report the news!
Cheer for the news van that you think will get to me first. Will it be red or yellow? Ready, set, go! Here they come around the bend, folks. This is gonna be one crazy race. It looks like yellow's got a baseball in the way. He'll have to jump it. Oh, she does. Red comes to a crazy barricade full of yellow balls. He's gonna have to crash to it. He crashes through it. Oh no, they're here at the tower. We're gonna have to round this tower together. Oh, and they come in. Oh no, there's an angry herd of dinosaurs. Hey, buddy, this is all road. Stay off here, see? And then go the other way. They're gonna have to come this way. It's a flying dolphin. He takes both of them over the animals. It's gonna be so close. This race is quackers, folks. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be yellow. It's gonna be red. It's gonna be yellow. It's gonna be red. It's gonna be the green dinosaur. It's gonna be the duck. It's gonna be yellow. Yellow wins.
It looks like it's time to report the news. This just in. I'm outstanding. Get it? Because I'm outstanding. Right here. Standing out here, reporting the news. Thanks for watching Tim Hunter's News Van Race of Newsiness. I'm Tim Hunter.
Whew. They finally caught on. And it took them long enough, right? All right, so like in our Bible lesson, they had to learn that telling the truth is the most important thing. And it's not always easy, and it's not always the most popular thing to do either, like what happened with Peter. Peter followed Jesus, and when Jesus was going to be crucified, Peter acted like he didn't even know who he was. And Peter did this because he was scared. Peter didn't want to be killed with Jesus, and he was like, no, I don't know that guy, but we know Jesus, and we can't deny Jesus. So if people ask us if we know who Jesus is, then we have to say that we know him as well, and we can't back down from our faith. So when you're around or when you're at home or whatever you're doing, make sure to be telling the truth, because it can be hard, and it can be something that isn't the most popular or that everyone else is doing, and your friends, maybe your friends get in trouble and they do something and you were with them and you lie about it to help them, but you have to be telling the truth even when it's not easy, because God calls us to tell the truth and God wants us to tell the truth so that we can make sure that we're living like him. So we're going to see what our verse says about telling the truth so we can see what Jesus says about it. And it says, truthful words stand the test of time, but lies are soon exposed. And that's in Proverbs 12:19. So it means that when you tell the truth, that you don't have to worry about anything. But when you lie, you're going to have to keep lying to cover that up, and you're going to have to keep lying, and then eventually they're going to find out anyway. So you should just be telling the truth. And when people ask you stuff, just make sure to tell them, where you've actually been, or that kind of stuff. So just make sure to be telling the truth with whatever you do so that we can make Jesus proud. And with that, we're going to go ahead and go into our songs. So everyone stand up. These are the songs that we've done for the past couple weeks, so you guys should start to know them by now. So go ahead and get ready, stand up, and let's do the songs.
Everybody say hey, hands in the air with a wave, lifted to the one who can save, to the Son who is done with the grave, Hosanna to his name.
Everything wrong that I'll ever do, everything wrong that I've ever done, was taken all away, yeah, by the blood of God's Son. I said everything wrong that I'll ever do, everything wrong that I've ever done, it was taken all away, yeah, by the price he paid. So everybody say,
hey, hands in the air with a wave, lifted to the one who can save, to the Son who was done with the grave, Hosanna to his name. Hey, hands in the air with a wave, lifted to the one who can save, to the Son who was done with the grave, Hosanna to his name.
Everything said, yeah, everything he said was true, he never lied. Took the punishment for sin, died and rose again, now he's at the Father's side. Oh, everything said, yeah, everything he said was true, he never lied. Took the punishment for sin, died and rose again, so we could be alive.
So everybody say hey, hands in the air with a wave, lifted to the one who can save, to the Son who is done with the grave, Hosanna to his name. Hey, hands in the air with a wave, lifted to the one who can save, to the Son who is done with the grave, Hosanna to his name. Hosanna, 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 Hosanna. Everybody say hey, hands in the air with the waves, and lifted to the one who can save, to the Son who was done with the grave, Hosanna to his name. Hands in the air.
himself be crucified. Only Jesus. There's an empty grave where he once lay. Now we are free, our debt is paid. Who can wash away our sin and make us whole again? Only Jesus. Who has beaten back the grave and has the power to save. Only Jesus. Now he's the risen Lord of all, and he will answer when we call. And only Jesus. Sun, moon, and stars declare his fame. Hope can be found in no other name. Who can wash away our sin and make us whole again? Only Jesus. Who has beaten back the grave and has the power to save. Only Jesus. Only Jesus. We lift our hands up to the one who gave his life. We lift our hands up to the one who sacrificed. Who can wash away our sin and make us whole again? Only Jesus. Who has beaten back the grave and has the power to save. Only Jesus. Who can wash away our sin and make us whole again? Only Jesus. Who has beaten back the grave and has the power to save. Only Jesus. Only Jesus.
Everyone in the news business knows you have to train to become a good reporter. So answer these questions and test your skills with some reporter training.
Guys, time for reporter training. So we're going to ask the questions. You guys yell out the answers. You know the drill. So let's see what the first question is. All right, this one is true or false. So it is okay to lie if it will get you out of trouble. A, true, getting in trouble is awful and you should do anything to avoid it. Or B, false lying is wrong even if it would get you out of trouble. The answer is B, lying is definitely wrong, so that's false. And question 2. Imagine that you forgot to put the milk back into the refrigerator this morning and now the milk is spoiled. Your mom asks who forgot to put it away. What should you tell her? A, point in the opposite direction when your mom looks, run away. B, blame your little brother. C, convince your mom that she is the one who forgot. Or D, admit that you forgot to put the milk away. And the answer is D, admit that you forgot to put the milk away. Imagine that you are at school and you are embarrassed by a bad grade you got on a test. Your classmates ask how you did on the test. What should you tell them? A, tell them you got the highest grade in the class. B, tell them you got a pretty good grade. C, tell them you didn't do as well as you wanted. Or D, tell them that you don't remember. The answer is C, tell them that you didn't do as well as you wanted to. Because even if it is embarrassing, you should still tell the truth. Today's Bible lesson. How many times did Peter lie about knowing Jesus? A, 1 time. B, 3 times. C, 7 times. Or D, 0 times. And it was B, he lied 3 times. During the news broadcast, what were the anchors and most of the reporters doing that almost ruined the entire broadcast? A, they wouldn't stop sneezing and coughing. B, they kept interrupting each other. C, they keep talking with their mouth full. Or D, they lied about the stories and situations they were reporting on. The answer is D. They lied about the stories and situations that they were reporting on. Fill in the blanks. Blank words stand the test of time, but blank are soon exposed. And that's Proverbs 12:19. So truthful words stand the test of time, but lies are soon exposed. Dishonest words stand the test of time, but enemies are soon exposed. Kind words stand the test of time, but insults are soon exposed. Or honest words will stand the time, but friends are soon exposed. And the answer is A. Truthful words stand the test of time, but lies are soon exposed.
Great job. And remember, to be a good reporter, you need to keep on learning and keep on training.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for coming again today. I hope that you guys had fun. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for bearing with me as we try to teach them about honesty. Make sure to comment down below so that we know who was here today, who's with you, so that you can get your pins when we come back together. Hopefully they won't be too long, but I know that some people are definitely looking forward to getting their pins so that they can get in the prize box. So make sure that you comment down below so that we know who is here, because even if you watch, but if you don't comment, we won't be able to give you your pins because we don't have proof of it. So make sure to do that. Thank you guys for coming, and we'll see you again next week. Your pins because we don't have proof of it. So make sure to do that. Thank you guys for coming, and we'll see you again next week.